All right, we keep the Big Ten theme going, and this is obviously big noon on Fox on Saturday. Can't wait to see it. Indiana, Ohio State. Ohio State 12.5-point home favorites, 52 the total. So this is basically, you have either one of two thoughts here. One is Indiana's feasted on a weak schedule. And has it been a weak schedule for the most part? Yes. FIU, Western Illinois, UCLA, Charlotte, Maryland, Northwestern, Nebraska's turned out to be not as good as people thought. Washington, Michigan State, Michigan's down from last year, not close to the championship team they were last year. It's a weak schedule for Indiana, but all you can do is play who's on your schedule. And they have not only played these teams, they've been dominant in these games. That being said, the Michigan game, the most recent game for Indiana, and they do have the bye week. Ohio State does not. So Signetti's got time to get a game plan together and get this Indiana team as ready as they possibly can be to take on this Ohio State team. But that Michigan game I think Michigan's the closest comparable to Ohio State for what Indiana's faced. And in that Michigan game, for the first time all year, that
semi-comparable.
But for the first time all year, CMAC, they got bogged down on offense a little bit. Like they struggled to move the ball. They struggled along the line of scrimmage in the second half of that game. It was definitely one of the weaker performances from Curtis, Rourke, and that offense. And that was against Michigan. Now you're going to have to face someone that's a lot better as far as Ohio State. So there are concerns about punching above the weight class a little bit here for Indiana. But you're still talking about a team that's got a lot of continuity with a lot of the JMU transfers. You've got a well-coached team because he's done a great job. Time to prepare. I have not moved on this yet because there is a worry for me that just Ohio State's flat out better athletes, which is all true. There's no doubt. Certainly the better defense. An offense that's really going to pose a lot more problems for Indiana's defense has been good, but they faced a lot of weak offenses, a lot of weak quarterbacks. And now you're going to face, Will Howard at quarterback. You're going to face Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins at running back. You're going to face Jeremiah Smith at receiver. You're just going to deal with a much tougher offense to stop for Indiana. But there's something about this coach, Signetti. He just finds a way. He was a point spread machine at James Madison. He's been a point spread machine this year at Indiana. And if this gets to 14, which I'm praying it does, it's already gone up from 11.5 to 12.5 and even 13 starting to show up. This gets hot. If this gets to 14, I will be for sure taking a shot with Indiana, who've been just too good to me all season long, not to maybe take them at that number. Right now, I still lean Indiana, but boy, if I can find 14, count me in. CMAC, interesting game. Like I said, the biggest fear is Indiana's faced a very weak slate. And Ohio State, it's not even close. Ohio State is easily, not even debatable, easily the toughest opponent that Indiana's faced. And everybody else Indiana's faced can't hold a candle to Ohio State. Does that mean Ohio State blows them out? Or can this Indiana team just be what they've been all year, undervalued, underrated, and give Ohio State a game here at the Shoe? What do you think?
I think they can. I mean, when you look at this, some people think maybe this is low here, by low on a Ohio State team. I haven't seen them really dominate this year. We saw the Oregon game, the loss, the close game to Nebraska, Penn State.
Nebraska at home. That's the thing. You want to point to support your case with Indiana. Just point to that Nebraska home game. Life and death against the Cornhuskers who've just faltered lately.
Yeah. So, I mean, how can you not? You've been on Indiana all year. I guess, wait a little bit. And Ohio State, it happened last week a little bit. We've talked about this team's slow starter. Look to Indiana, first quarter, again last week. Northwestern, nothing early. They get the first touchdown. Of course, everything correct. Halftime, they make great adjustments. This team, and they are a very good second half team, Ohio State, and kick their ass. But I mean, it should be a really good football game. We'll see. All the hype with Indiana. Can their defense, that's kind of been pretty good, but just who they played, these shittier teams kind of hold Ohio State somewhat in check? I think maybe they can. a little bit here, especially if they get a turnover too. And Howard in big games is still a question mark. And the Ohio State defense is very good. I mean, top 10. Are they dominant? At times for sure. I think they are. But another Howard, I think he can make mistakes. I wanted him to prove it in these big games, and he's looked all right. But I don't trust him here at all. So yeah, if this gets up to 2 touchdowns, I'll take a piece of Indiana.
I'll probably take him as it is, even if it doesn't get to 14. But it'll be a bigger bet if it gets to 14 for me. That is for sure with Indiana. I can't wait for this game. This is just fascinating because we're going to find out, how good Ohio State is and if Indiana can.
What did you think about the paying Cignetti before this game?
I don't like that, actually, believe
me. Yeah, I
see him get paid late in the year. Like once you've actually, finished through this season and maybe gotten your team to the Big Ten championship or the playoff or whatever. Now you gotten them the money, and now what? Do they shit the bed here against Ohio State? Hopefully not. But it is.
Oh, it seems like a setup, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, but no, for me, it's Hoosiers or pass. They've been too good to me. Even though this is by far their toughest game of the year.